But now the question is kind of going the other way. So on the opposite end, what's the relationship between fear and energy?
Oh, fear. Now, fear is certainly one of the lowest frequencies there is. And fear is the energy that destroys lives, everyone's life, in one way or the other. Either your life gets destroyed by you never reaching your potential and therefore never knowing and experiencing who you are because you are afraid to fail, you are afraid to not make enough money, you are afraid to be laughed at, you are afraid to be rejected, you are afraid that you will be abandoned, you're afraid that you're running out of energy. And fear is endless. So it's a big thing. And fear is a total contractive energy. That means it puts you and down. And then you are locked in. And the way out through denial isn't working. It gives you an illusionary safety in the moment, but then in the night, when you're defenseless with your mind, fear takes you back. You can suppress fear. You live in the fear of your partner maybe one day leaving you. That makes you corrupt because you are not natural with your partner anymore. Your fear is telling you what to say and how to say it, what to do and what not to do it. So you're becoming a slave of the fear, and it's dictate on you how you should behave when the boss comes in, how you should do this, how you should do that. You are completely becoming a marionette, a puppet of the fear. Now, that's probably all very clear to you because everyone is experiencing fear. How now to learn about it, becoming fully conscious of it, and of course, going beyond fear. This is essential if you want to become happy, because fear and happiness cannot coexist next to each other. It's not possible. You cannot be happy and be in fear. Not possible. So, the reduction of fear and ultimately the dissolution of fear is one of the greatest and most important journeys in everyone's self-realization, spiritual journey in order to become more happy. The first thing about fear is you need to start noticing it. You need to start reflecting on it and becoming aware of it by studying it, learning it, listening to a video like this and others who are talking about fear, so that you get an awareness around it. What you're not aware of, you cannot make choices about. So you first need to become aware of your fears. Then you are in the power to make choices. So when you are now in the presence of a particular fear, then you can ask yourself, what are you attached to? Because fear only can exist on the foundation of attachment. If you wouldn't be attached to your partner and your partner chooses to go some other place, well, you wouldn't be afraid, right? If you wouldn't be attached to it. If you wouldn't be attached to a particular monthly income, if you wouldn't be attached to a business needing to run in a particular way, if you wouldn't need to be attached with regard to how your body would look like, attachment and fear always go together. No attachment, no fear. That's what the Buddhists are teaching. That's why their way is to eliminate all attachments, because with eliminating all attachments, you're eliminating all fear. Very simple. Simple? Yes. Easy to do? Not really. Possible? Absolutely. And we are forced anyway in that direction, because if we don't manage to go beyond our attachments, life will, by force, teach us. It will take away the things that we are attached to. Latest, when you die. Then you realize you can't take anything with you. But then it's too late, because you are already you have your expiration date reached in your body. That's why people then choose to reincarnate. In the last moment, they say, "Oh my God, I missed all that. Let me come back and next time do it better." But you don't need to wait until death becomes your ultimate teacher. You can start reasoning now, becoming a more conscious person and taking on the attachments. Go step by step. Not all of them at once, and it's not possible anyway. Nobody has that kind of strength. But take the first one and ask yourself, okay, what is needed to let go of that attachment? Because one of the spiritual laws says, what you were willing to let go of, you may keep, but it doesn't work as a trick. You really need to be willing to let go of it. That means first comes the non-attachment. And if life returns the person to you while you're not attached, it's meant for you. If life returns the money to you while you're not attached to it, it's meant for you. If life returns the job to you, it's meant for you. And you are not in the claws of fear any longer. So everything what you are afraid of is linked to an attachment, and you need to work on surrendering those attachments back to where they came from, or straight to the universe, or straight to God. Just pray for the attachment to be surrendered. That's one way. The other way is to realizing that the attachment is totally in your way. You always thought you need that, but the need is breeding fear, and fear is your direct way in order to low frequency energy and unhappiness. So if you get all that, then it becomes easier to take on your attachments. And when you meet fear without fear, you see that the wolf you were running away from becomes a puppy and ultimately disappears. From a very high spiritual point of view, fear is a teacher, and fear is the way into freedom, but only if you are taking it as the impulse and the demand to let go of your attachments. That's a royal way, and that's what everybody needs to do, either by free will and cooperating, like I suggested now, to make it a conscious journey, or by force. Life will teach us anyway. So we do have a choice.
Okay. Yeah, you shared a lot of really powerful insights there. And what stood out to me the most was that fear is almost like its own entity.
Yes.